So during recent events, COVID times, the financial architects has made a decision to have something called TFA Tuesdays. Now, the premise behind it is really just to keep everybody informed. I know that we have close to 330 million people in America right now, and here in California, close to 40 million of them live in the greater California area. And whether it's northern or southern, we like to keep everybody informed. So as a result of that, we have several different speakers. Speakers such as tax planners, tax advisors, people on retirement planning, people on real estate, people on whether to buy real estate or not buy real estate. In this particular clip that we're about to share with you, a very good friend of mine, Calvin Becerra, is going to go through the secret to his success that he's had in the more than decade of being an entrepreneur and business owner. Now, mind you, this is not an average person that you're going to hear from today. What you are going to hear from him is ordinary beginnings where now he gets into extraordinary endings. So I'm anxious to see Calvin Becerra and his story of how he got started and, of course, his vision on where he's going. Share it with everybody you believe who would get something out of this visionary person that we're about to have on our TFA Tuesday. Enjoy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So it was about, I don't know, about a month and a half, almost 2 months now, where our company, the Financial Architects, we started doing these Zoom calls. We call them TFA Tuesdays for a reason. Obviously, TFA stands for the Financial Architects. And we have a pretty big brand name right now where we got 13 offices, 12 offices in Southern California and 1 office in Oregon. And I every single week, I want to bring value to kitchen tables and living rooms across the nation, if you will. And today we have an incredible speaker, a great friend of mine, just an awesome dad and great husband to his wife. I mean, the guy, I mean, when he walks into the house, he probably takes his cape off. His wife gives him a shoulder rub more than likely, because this guy is one of the best dudes that I know. And on that note, I mean, I met him through one of the best dudes I know, Chris Perry. So I met Chris years ago, more than, almost 15 years ago. And he introduced me to Calvin. And when I first met Calvin, I was a little bit standoffish because, you know, any guy that makes a 7-figure income, normally he's a little cocky. He thinks he's all bad. All right, what do you got, bro? But he was not like that. He was super humble and just a wealth of knowledge, and then just a great overall person. And I wanted him to come on and share with everybody here on this TFA Tuesday, kind of his journey that got him to where he's at right now, what things that he's got going on in the future, and how he built his organization, and how he's essentially taking over not California, not the Midwest, not East Coast, or not Antarctica, but I mean literally the whole world. And when you talk to a guy that has international connections, normally they speak 7 different languages, and they're intergalactic warriors and things of that nature. But Calvin's just a regular dude that has made some pretty incredible decisions in his life and has adopted great habits. Let me say that again, great habits in his lifetime. And that's something that I definitely want to get a lot from. And I'm just so thankful that he's here on our TFA Tuesday to share some of the things that you guys have not heard of before. So without further ado, if everybody could visually clap your hands and give Calvin a very big round of applause. Calvin Becerra, take it over, my friend.
My boy Manny, thank you all for just jumping on here tonight. I guess to hear about my story. I guess it's a little bit of me speaking into your lives. I've been a friend of Manny for quite some time now. I think over 5 years now. When I first met Manny, I knew he'd become like a brother to me, like one of my best friends in the world. We don't talk every day, but we know that we got each other's back. I think that's the coolest thing. But and I respect the fact that you even invited me to be on this call today to speak into your friends' lives and to help maybe motivate them or inspire them with my story. I'm 39 years old, or should I say 39 years young. I've been a business owner, since my, I think, early 20s. And it didn't start that way. Like I didn't just, I wasn't born into a family, and with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't born into a family who owned their own business, who even owned their own homes. I grew up with just my mom in Northern California. My twin brother, Brandon. I have a younger sister. Her name's Amber. And I remember we grew up in the projects in Northern California, Oakland, Richmond, Rodeo. Every year we moved to a new home. I don't remember, ever being in a home longer than a year. But I understood the value of hard work just at an early age. I think because I had to. I think of my kids now. I have 4 beautiful kids, and they've never worked a day in their life yet. It's hard. I want to teach them the value of hard work. But my wife wants to give them everything because she's like, they didn't have to grow up like you. But I feel grateful because of all the adversity that I've had to, encounter during my lifetime, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without having any of that. But I just remember, just being 8 years old, and my mom just was crying one day because she couldn't keep the lights on or keep the water hot in our home, and she was struggling because she was a single parent, that couldn't keep a job because she had to have someone help take care of my little sister. And my brother and I, we were on welfare and food stamps, you name it. I remember taking the Greyhound bus from Southern California, where I'd originally grown up in the Whittier area. And we took the Greyhound bus to Northern California because my mom wanted to get away from her family and just start over. And the first thing we did was stand in line at the county office to apply for welfare and food stamps and Section 8 housing. And I remember, just living in a car in front of the Motel 6 for like a couple weeks, and the police officer would knock on the window every night. Hey, you guys, you need to get these kids somewhere. And we're just waiting to be able to get into the motel, and we had to wait for the county to give us a coupon to be able to stay at Motel 6. And I remember staying there for a while. And I remember just being a young kid, and my brother and I just took it upon ourselves to start working at 8 years old. We were knocking on doors, and we were like asking if they needed their car washed, their car waxed, needed their lawn mowed. I remember we'd carry buckets and like a lawnmower everywhere we went, and we'd ask if we could do anything around the home to help, our mom, help us earn money to just bring home to our mom. And just that simple habit that we did every day after school. We got our homework done and went straight to work. And then every weekend, all day long, taught us and instilled in us a work ethic that no one else could take from us. When you build a work ethic within yourself, nothing can ever be taken from you. You can build a business and watch it fall apart, but nobody can take away your work ethic, because all you need is another idea and you can go to work on something else. And I think that's what I'm most grateful for. Just at an early age, I developed a work ethic that most people don't develop until they're in their 20s, until they finally move out of mom or dad's house in their 30s or whatever it is. Today it's even later. But at 8 years old, I developed that work ethic, and it took me into my teenage years. My mom always told my brother and I that you guys would be the first ones in our family to ever go to college, and that you guys would graduate and you guys would one day buy me a home, and that was all we knew. My mom told us that's what would happen. So we believed it, right? And I remember we were teenagers, and the school we would have to go to was in Richmond, California. And we were like, we're not going to go to that high school. Literally, I remember being in middle school and watching fights break out in the hallways, and the principal would see it and he'd turn around and walk back to his office. He was so scared of the kids. I'd watch kids lighting the trash cans on fire or throwing batteries at the teacher's head when he was writing on the chalkboard, like crazy kids, and they'd be afraid to do anything. I did not want to go to the next level in high school and have to go through that, because no college would ever see that school academically as something that was challenging. That's the truth. I wouldn't get into any good college, even if I got straight A's there. So I was like, how can I challenge myself? How can me and my brother go to the next level in life to help my mom, fulfill my mom's dream for us? And we found a private high school in Northern California. The high school was called De La Salle High School. It was a private all-boys Catholic high school. And my brother and I would have to take the bus to the train, the BART train, to the bus to the school, okay, to go take our placement exam one summer day when we were in 8th grade. Actually, I don't know if it was a summer. It was sometime during 8th grade. We had to like go get a bunch of letters of recommendations from our teachers and from like people in our family and friends. And we had to go take the placement exam. And we took the test, and a couple weeks later, we found out we were accepted into that high school. And I remember going to that school, watching like parents pull up in their BMWs and Porsches and like Range Rovers. And we were like, just got off the bus and like ran a mile to get to school to take the test, you know? And when I say ran a mile, we didn't have to run a mile. We could have took the bus, but we wanted to save 15 cents. I'm just telling you, 15 cents, you know, times 7 is almost $1 at the end of the week. And that dollar is going to become 30 at the end of the month. I'm just telling you, you guys, I'm just saying, like, every penny mattered to us. And by the way, running that extra mile a day to school and then a mile to work and then a couple miles back to the BART station at 11 o'clock at night helped us get full ride scholarships for long distance running, right? To pay for our college later. We didn't know that that's what would happen because a result of that, like, every habit leads to something, right? As you were talking about, Manny. It's those daily disciplines done daily that build your character. But I remember just getting accepted to that school. My mom was so sad for us because she couldn't pay for it. And we were like, what do you mean? We're going to pay for it ourselves. Like, we're going to figure out a way. We're going to this school, you know, we're going to make it happen. And we didn't let it become our excuse. And my brother and I, we got our work permits at 15 years old. And we went and applied at every job in Concord, California. That's where it is, in Northern California. And I remember we applied like everywhere, and we got accepted at quite a few of those places. You know, our interviews went well. The guys liked us. The owners of the companies liked us. And we ended up taking 3 jobs. But these jobs couldn't know that we had 3 jobs, because as a student, you can only work a certain amount of hours a week. So in the morning, every day, before school started, you know, we'd take the bus at like 4 in the morning. It'd be dark outside, run to the bus stop in Rodeo. We'd take it to the BART station in Richmond. We'd take Richmond all the way to Concord, California, or to Pleasant Hill, California. Then we'd run to our first job, like a mile and a half away. And we were janitors in the morning. We like scrubbed toilets. We like dusted off the desks. We vacuumed the floors. We emptied the garbage cans, put new little plastic things in there. You know, we did like whatever the owners would ask us in a note when we got there. And we go to school. We do our homework in the library. We do our homework at the breaks. After that, we go to our sports practice. I ran cross country. I played football. I wrestled and I ran track, right? I played baseball too, but I couldn't fit that in the schedule, right? So after school, we'd go work at Exxon gas station, where we were the shop boys, and we'd like clean up after the mechanics. You know, we'd learn things from mechanics, how to change oil and fix plug flat tires. And we'd learn all these little life lessons from these guys. They were like our father figures in there, you know, and they liked me and my brother. And we'd clean up the bay after the mechanics left. We'd shut the bay and lock the doors. And then we'd run to Applebee's restaurant, where we were a host, from 7 to 11 at night. Okay. And then we'd try to run after that to catch the last train home. And when we'd miss it, it didn't matter. We'd run back to the gas station. We'd sleep in the bathroom. And we kept a backpack in the attic of the Exxon gas station with like an extra t-shirt, a couple pairs of underwear, gel, hair gel. Everybody needs hair gel, right? And we had that in there, and then like deodorant and all that stuff. And I'm just saying, like, dude, work ethic. Our work ethic was being developed the entire time, and we didn't even realize it. You know, it was what we had to do in order to get what we wanted. It was work ethic. And we paid for our own way through our private high school. We do when we catch the bus or the trains, we do our homework on the bus and the trains, you know, and you know, we graduated high school at the top of our class, got full ride scholarships for track and field and long distance running. We went to a private university here in Southern California where we graduated. And, you know, I remember thinking, like, you know, what can I do to like buy my mom that house? Like, what can I do to fulfill that dream for her? And I didn't know like what business to do. I just knew I wanted to get involved in business. But, you know, I'd remember like just meeting guys as I got older, going out with friends and stuff who were like in real estate and mortgage banking. And I was like, man, these guys like have the nice cars, they have nice houses, they have like a nice lifestyle. I want that. I don't know how they do it, but I want it. And I remember going to a company in Irvine, California, and asking to meet the owner of the company. It was a mortgage company. And this guy came out, he had full sleeved and tattoos and everything up to his neck. And he's like, I'm the owner. His name was Chris. And I was like, you're the owner of this company? He's like, yeah, what do you need? I was only 22 years old. And I said, hey, you know, my name's Calvin Becerra. I know you've never met me before. I'm just looking for a place to get started. I want to get involved in real estate. I have no experience at all. And I said, but I promise you, I know you don't know who I am, but I'm the hardest worker you've never met. I remember using that line, I'm the hardest worker you've never met. And then he asked me a few questions. He's like, hey, you know, in this business, like I spend a lot of money on leads, And he's like, I can't give you any leads because you have no experience, but I can give you the desk in the back behind this guy, D. His name was D. Gardner. And he's like, you know, that was probably like the poorest performing guy in the office, but I learned a lot from this guy. And I sat in the back of the office and I just learned. One of the biggest reasons why I've been successful in my life is because I wasn't afraid to be a student first. Like I didn't expect the overnight success. I didn't expect to know how to do everything all up front. I didn't get discouraged when I failed. My failures were my biggest teachers in my life. I never learned anything from an easy win. Okay. I never learned anything from a customer who said yes right away. I learned everything from the hardest customers. I learned everything from the people who told me no, who weren't interested, who asked me the hardest questions that I couldn't answer. And it taught me to go back home and be more prepared for the next person who asked me that same exact question, or the next person who has a rebuttal or an objection to what I'm sharing or what I'm offering, you know? And I just prepared myself and I got better through all of my failures. But I remember just watching and listening and learning my entire first year in that business. I didn't care how much money I made, how much money I didn't make. I just wanted to be the best student in the office because I knew that one day I'd have my own office. I wouldn't have a cubicle like these 30 people in that office. I would have my own office like Chris and like Omar, like these guys who were the owners of this company, you know. And sure enough, my second year, I had my own office. I was the only one out of all those people who've been there for years. I got my own office, and they gave me a bigger split on my deals, but I learned everything, you know. And I went out and I marketed myself. I grew my network when I was out of the office. I was out meeting new people and talking to new people, and I became someone else. You know, I wasn't the poor kid from the projects. I wasn't the kid, you know, that didn't have anything. I wasn't the kid without experience. I acted as if like I had everything. You know, I had big dreams. I walked around with confidence and conviction. I was still humble. I didn't act like I knew it all. But when I was sharing my business, when I was sharing what I did or offering my assistance, I gave the presence, command presence, that I knew what I was talking about. And people trusted that about me, you know, and that's what it was. And I remember I was 23 years old when I became a millionaire, you know, in my own business. It took me 2 years to do that. I think I made $1.6 million my second year in real estate and mortgage. And then for the next 3 years, I made over $1 million, you know, for the next 3 years. And I ended up starting my own mortgage company, Empire Realty Associates, Empire Capital Group, here in Southern California, in Riverside, California, to be exact. And in 2008, I was hit with something that I never expected. I never seen before. It was something that couldn't be taught to me. It was something I would have to learn and experience, and it helped me grow stronger. But in 2008, the economy crashed. If you guys remember that, right? It was the financial crisis here in the United States, 2007, 2008. And I had owned 7 homes at that time. I was spending like 75 grand a month to pay all my bills, you know, and renters couldn't pay, but I just wanted to save my credit, right? Because it was so important to me as like a mortgage banker. When I saw someone with a BK, I'm like, how could somebody have a bankruptcy? I remember thinking that, and I had to claim bankruptcy myself because of what happened, you know? And and I realized bankruptcy is just a business decision in life, right? Some of the most successful people I know have bankrupted themselves more than 3 times, and they're like millionaires, right? Some of them billionaires. And I just remember just, you know, finding myself like at the bottom again. I just remember, of course, you know, I was kind of depressed, and I was wondering, like, I was looking for options. I was working like literally 10 times as hard to make 25% of the income. And the renters couldn't pay the rent. I couldn't kick them out. They were squatting in there, and I ended up losing the homes to the bank. Some of them I was able to short sale. Some of them just fell into foreclosure because the short sale department didn't talk to the foreclosure department. It all got all jacked up. Some of you guys might relate to some of those stories. And like, dude, I like claimed BK, and I had to like literally start all over again. And what I realized was that I had something no one could take from me. And that was the work ethic that I've developed since I was 8 years old. Like, just give me something and I'll go to work and I'll figure it out, you know? And fortunately for me, I met a neighbor of mine who had been in a similar situation to me. His business had fallen apart as a result of the current financial crisis. And his friend had introduced him to a new business model, and it was network marketing, direct sales, you know? And I'd never been involved in a business like that, you know? And like anyone, I was skeptical, you know, but, and I didn't know how they worked or anything like that. And I remember my neighbor just talking to me about how the real opportunity at the time of crisis is the opportunity to work, to be able to work, to be able to provide for your family, to be able to bring in an income stream. when it wasn't available out there. And that this was a real opportunity, you know, to teach people how to build teams, how to build a customer base and do this, that, and the other, right? I still didn't understand anything, but it took me 3 weeks to like see the opportunity, but I was open-minded. And I remember that I went to a meeting. He was trying to invite me to go to one of these meetings, you know, and I guarantee that every single one of you guys in your lifetime have been invited to a network marketing opportunity meeting or one of those meetings, you know, and you guys have either went, you guys have joined, maybe it worked out for you, maybe it didn't. It always depends on the leadership, the team that you're on, the support that you get, the mentors that you have. And I was very fortunate to be introduced my very first time to this business and to be introduced by someone who knew what the heck they were doing. Someone who can lead me to people who had experience, people that I can learn from, just like the experience I had in the mortgage industry. I met many people in the mortgage industry who couldn't make it, who didn't make money, who like joined and then 3 months later they were doing something else. I met many I know real estate agents today who don't sell a single freaking house, but they're real estate agents. And they go tell everybody how they're real estate agents and they maybe sell one home a year, you know? And then I know agents who sell like 10 a month, 20 a month, 30 a month. So I'm just saying, like, what team are you on, right? What team are you on? And I remember that I went to a meeting finally 3 weeks later after this guy introduced me to this business, and I saw the opportunity for what it was. But the biggest opportunity for me was to work with this guy, to impress this guy, to show this guy, I have a work ethic. You put anything in front of me, I'm going to figure it out. You know, and I didn't know anything about the business. At the very beginning of anything, when you start a business, you always lack confidence. That's normal. You're always going to have a lack of confidence at the very beginning of anything you do when you're brand new. But you know how to overcome confidence? Do you know how to grow your confidence in what you're doing? It's practice. It's just practicing. It's applying yourself. It's taking action. It's learning from the teachers and then going out and trying it, failing forward, right? The prerequisite of success is always going to be failure, right? You just have to have the courage to go out there and fail. And you have to know that that's the only way I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn nothing from the easy sell, right? But I'm going to learn everything from the hardest people, from the most difficult people, all right? And that's what it was about. So I learned from just going out there and practicing. And of course, like in business, you see the guys doing the business presentations that are great at speaking. I wasn't that guy. Today I am. Obviously, you could tell it's 15 years of practice speaking in front of people. But at the very beginning, I promise you guys, I could never do this. That would be the scariest thing in the world. Right? I don't even know most of you on this webinar, this Zoom call. In 2008, we didn't have Zoom. We didn't have Facebook. We had no social media. Okay. I didn't even use Skype. It was all face-to-face business. All right. Today, like with technology, you can literally build any business you want online and you can make 50 times as much as I did back then. I'm just saying, like right now, you have everything to your advantage. If you're not making money on your phone or from your computer, you're losing. That's the reality of life today. This is 2020. You have to get with the times. But I remember in that business, you know, I learned from applying myself. I wasn't afraid to work. I just wanted to know who the successful people were in that business and what are they doing to succeed. And I remember watching all the successful people in that business and seeing what their strengths were that were my weaknesses. And I remember writing down all of the things that they had that I didn't. And I remember writing down all the goals I wanted, who I wanted to become as a result of that business, how much money I wanted to make, what life I wanted to have. Like, did I want a family? Did I want to have kids? Did I want to live in my dream home? I remember like writing down everything I wanted as a result of this business. And I remember writing down everything those people had that I didn't. And once I wrote these things down, I immediately went to work on becoming the person that was deserving of getting those things. I immediately went to work on developing those skill sets the leaders had, even though I didn't know. Like public speaking, wow, I Googled public speaking and I saw there was a public speaking seminar in Riverside, California. I paid $800 for a 2-day course. Today, you can get free education. It's called YouTube. Ask the YouTube gods anything, they'll answer every single morning for an hour. I spend an hour on YouTube and I literally fill up notebooks full of content. My wife buys me a new notebook every week. You know, when she goes to Target, picks up a new notebook and I fill it up every morning with everything I want to learn. Like, how do I master social media? What are the Instagram hacks? How do I beat the Facebook algorithm? How can I market online? How can I run sponsored ads? How do I get more customers, right? How do I become an influencer? How do I give value online? How do I grow my groups? Like, I ask YouTube everything, and like 50 pros answer me for free, right? But back then, I'm telling you guys, the first thing I wanted to do was learn how to be a great speaker. And I went to this class in Riverside, California, and there was like 8 of us in there. We paid $800 each. And it was a 2-day course, all right? And in 2 days, they taught us like some simple tips in engaging the audience, and something that Manny Soto is a pro at. He's one of the best speakers I've ever seen in my life. I've learned so much when I worked with him. You know, when we built a business together, I worked with him, and I remember watching him and learning from Manny. So I want to just give you props to that. Like, you're incredible, you know, and I learned a ton from you. As a matter of fact, as I build my business around the world, like, I use a lot of things you do when I speak. So it's great. But I learned a lot of tips in that class. And I remember they recorded me at the very beginning of the class, just answering questions and telling my story. And then they recorded me at the end of the weekend, answering those same questions and telling my story. And it was like night and day difference, right? And it wasn't that I became this like motivational speaker overnight at all, because I wasn't. But what it allowed me to do was remove my own mental blocks that were keeping me from speaking in front of people. You know, my own limiting beliefs. Like, sometimes all you got to do is just take that class to give yourself permission to do the thing you're supposed to do in order to succeed. I took that class and I allowed myself to now speak in front of people. I took the class. I could speak now in front of my 3 friends in my own living room about my business. When before, I couldn't do that at all. You know, like I sometimes you just have to give yourself permission to do the things that you're supposed to do to have success in whatever your business is. Look at the people who are succeeding and go to work on developing those skill sets. Who cares if you're not good at it? You can become good at it when you take the class, when you read the book, when you watch the videos, when you practice in front of your phone, when you practice in front of your peers, when you practice in front of your potential prospects or clients. I developed some skill sets that I didn't have before. I immediately went to work on becoming the person that was deserving of being a millionaire in this type of business I'm in. And I'm telling you guys, in my first 8 months, I became the youngest millionaire in my company. In that second business, I was 26 years old. And I'm not telling you that like it was just an overnight success, because sometimes when you have quick success, you have even quicker failure, okay? Sometimes growing too fast isn't always the best thing. But every year, I would rebuild and grow my business. I would learn what not to do the next year. I'd learn what to do better the next year. Like, I remember the first year, I went and grew my business, and I didn't empower anybody to do the business on their own. I was like, I show the presentation the best. Do not share it. I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to be at all of your appointments for you. Like, I'm going to do all the conference calls. I'm going to do all the videos. I didn't delegate anything to people. I didn't empower people to become leaders. I didn't like let them know that you can do great at this. I did everything for everybody, and we were successful as a team, but everybody relied on me. So when I took a step back from my business just stood still. So the second year I rebuilt it, I was like, okay, this time I'm going to build my business stronger than I did last time. I'm going to empower people now. I'm going to get people to do the work. I'm going to create a business of duplication, right? And I realized it's not about what works. It's about what duplicates. What I do works. Me sharing the presentation, me speaking for people, me in front of their clients works, but it doesn't duplicate, right? And if the business is missing me, if it doesn't have me in it, the business doesn't run. So I wanted to create duplicates of myself. I wanted to create duplication, right? I wanted to show them a few times, let them shadow me, and let them practice some of it on their own. You know, sometimes I do like 75%, let them do 25%. And then I do 50% the third time, and then they would do 50%. And then I do 25%, let them do 75%. And then I'd be there the next time, and they do 100% of the time, and I'd just be there for support. You know, and I would just ease them into leadership, ease them into their role. And I learned something every single time. You know, Manny talks about how I have an international business. I do. You know, one of the reasons why I love having a home-based business is, one, I get to work from home, right? And I get to have my kids and my wife around me. But the other reason is because in my type of business, I've been able to create a passive income, which is available in many other businesses, including what most of you already do with financial architects, right? But what's great is I was able to build a business in my own backyard with people who didn't look just like me, right? People of different skin colors, different ethnicities, different religions, different nationalities. And when I built a business of those people around me, because I have an international business, my business grew overseas. And today I have a business that pays me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with over 2 million people in it, customers using products, you know, in more than 130 countries. So it's a business now that, yes, today we're in crisis, right? The coronavirus, you know, it took a lot of businesses out, right? But my business is bulletproof. Our business grew bigger. I have had the biggest sales months than I've ever had in my entire history of being in business. Why? Because the real opportunity today is what? It's work. People are looking for options. People are looking for work. People are looking for an opportunity. They're looking to they're stuck in their homes and they're like, man, I'm sick of this. I've been staring at the wall forever, staring at my kids forever. Like being a homeschool teacher, I didn't want to sign up for that, right? Like I want to build, I need to make money right now. Teach me how to build a home-based business. And then when the jobs come back, I'll be out there. But now I've added an additional income stream to my life. So, I mean, success through crisis. And that's why I really love my business, you know? I think if there were, you know, a message that I can send to anybody who owns their own business, or for those of you that are building a business and building a team, I would just say that one of the hardest things about being a business owner is that you have no boss, right? You have no accountability. That's the truth, right? When you have a job, like you have a boss, you have a supervisor, you have someone breathing down your neck, someone holding you accountable, you have requirements that have to be met. But a lot of times when people own their own business, they have no pride or sacrifice in what they do. They don't even treat it like their job. They treat it like a hobby. And the reality is that hobbies cost you money. Businesses and jobs make you money. Okay? You can't just decide tomorrow I'm not going to show up to work. What's going to happen? You're going to get fired. Okay? You can't just go to work tomorrow morning and show up for an hour and then leave 7 hours early. You're going to get fired. That's what people do with their own businesses. Like 90% of people do that. They like hobbies are things you do when you feel like it. Hobbies are things you do on the weekend. Things you do when people ask you, do you want to go do this? Hobbies are things you do with your friends for fun. Okay? Not your business. Your business, you have to treat like your job. You have to just show up 5 days a week, show up weekly. If you show up for your business, the income's going to show up for you. It's the same exact thing. That's the secret. When people ask, what's the secret? I say, there's no secret. Well, what do you mean when you talk about massive action, Calvin? I'm like, massive action is just showing up, treating your business like you would your own job, right? If you had a boss, okay, even though you don't, if you had a boss in your current line of work, in your current business, what do you think they would require of you in order to keep your job? Write those things down. How many days a week would you have to show up? Okay, if you're part-time, great. How many hours is that at a normal job? Oh, you're full-time, great. How many hours is that a normal job? And how many days a week it's still 5 days a week, whether it's part-time or full-time. Okay, now what are the requirements? Oh, you're in a sales job. Okay, great, so you have to make sales. How many sales would they require you to make a month or a week? How many sales in order to keep your job, right? Oh, you have to grow a team. Well, how many teammates would you have to add to your team every single month? If this were a job, okay, write those down. Okay, now whatever you wrote down, do that. Do that. That's all you need to do. Just do that. Show up to work 5 days a week, right? Clock in and clock out. You know, yeah, great. If it's your own business, you can work it when you want. You could take a break here and there or 3 breaks in a row. It doesn't matter. As long as you put in the hours. I don't care if you started at 7 o'clock and you ended at 11 o'clock at night, right? Just put in the hours. But I'm just telling you, what do you think would be required of you if it were your job? Treat your business like you would your job, and you will have amazing things happen. You'll get paid more than you would at your job. It's just having standards, right? And in my business, I always talk about 3 standards. 1, time commitment. Is it full-time or part-time? Decide what it is and set that in stone. The second thing is, what is your monthly sales target? What are your standards? Like monthly sales target. If you're growing a team, then that's great. And all of you need to have little numbers. But as a collective unit, you're doing a big number, okay? What's your monthly sales target if this were your job? Like have a standard. It doesn't have to be something ridiculous. Like just set a monthly sales target that you can accomplish and you can hit. And once you hit it, you're going to see, I can do a little bit more and adjust it next month, right? And then the third standard is team growth. If your business involves you growing a team and that can help you leverage other people's efforts to help you earn income, grow your team. Spend some of those days that you're working, some of those hours in your days, prospecting, meeting people, networking on purpose, going out, making new friends, going to mixers, joining new groups online, going to dinner when you don't feel like it on a Friday night with your friend because you're going to meet their 2 friends, right? Going to a birthday party, going to a wedding, whatever it is. I'm just telling you, network on purpose. That's how you grow your business. Your business is not going to be built with your friends and family. Okay, it never is. Even though everybody wants it to happen that way, your friends and family are only there for one thing when it comes to your business. They're there for your grand opening. They're there for all the free food, the party, the fiesta. And once it's done and the doors are closed, they're gone. You'll never see them again. They're not coming back to your business. As a matter of fact, if they do, they want everything for free. They want the David discount. All right. They want the Natalie deal. You know, they don't want you to make money off them. All right. So I'm just telling you the truth. Your business is built with people you haven't even met yet. You got to go out there and network. You got to grow your business just like every other brick and mortar traditional business owner does. You have to grow your business, but have standards. Teach your team to have standards, and you're going to be successful. So anyways, like I said, I wanted to share my story. I know through my story, I've taught many lessons, but I know that Manny maybe has some questions for me that he might want me to answer just based on what his agenda is for this call. But I just wanted you guys to know who I am and why I'm at where I'm at. In the last 15 years of being involved in my current business, I've earned over $50 million in my industry. And I'm just telling you, like, I'm still the same person that I was when I started, right? Even when I meet successful people, even business owners who don't even make half of what I make, like, I'm humbled by them, like, and I look up to them and I ask them questions, you know, like, I'm still that kid who grew up in the projects, even though I have what I have now. I was able to buy my mom a home. I take care of my mom every single month. I moved her down here. She lives in San Diego. And I'm always about giving back and helping kids who want to go to private schools who can't afford it. You know, we're always blessing new kids every single year, you know, and just like, I'm just telling you that I'm just a product of hard work. Hard work made it easy. You know, that's the story. That's how I've had so much success. Hard work made it easy. So anyways, Manny, do you have any questions for me? I'd love to answer them for you.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin, dude, I need to give you a big hug when I see you, dude. Like 70% of the people on the call, they're my agents or brokers. Okay. And I tell them things, it's like ear floss. But now another entrepreneur tells them, you know, they're like, Calvin says I shouldn't take my business as a hobby. I've been hobbying shit right now. It's like, I'm like, yes. Like hobbies are not, dude, that's the biggest thing I got right now, man. Like you go out and do a hobby, it doesn't make you any money, but you guys are starting a business, you're treating your business like a hobby. Like, wake up, man. You know, get it going. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Hobbies
got like 2 pages of notes right here.
Awesome, bro. Thank you.
Dude, I got 2 pages of notes, bro. I love, dude. Just a couple of things that I've recognized that I love it.
Okay, all that means, bro, is you write too slow. You should have like 8 pages of notes right now, bro. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just kidding. I'm joking with you. All right, cool.
A couple things, dude. Number 1 was work ethic. You hit it. Daily disciplines. You know, it's funny. I hear excuses all the time, bro, and I know that you hear them too. You're building an organization. You probably have heard 100 more excuses that I have. But everyone's got an excuse. It's the economy. It's because I'm short. It's because I'm fat. It's because I'm tall. It's because I speak 3 languages. It's because I don't speak enough languages. It's always going to be a flippant excuse, right? Yep. And the common denominator that I look at the shit that you went through, bro. Like you didn't go to an Ivy League school, all bills paid for, drive a Porsche convertible. Like I've been through some trials and tribulations just like you have, and I don't know if it's a pedigree of success or what, because some of us on this call, you guys, you've had a silver spoon in your mouth, or you get sad because you got a stubbed toe, and he just went through everything that he went through, and you guys are like, there's no excuses, man. I love it, dude. So that was number 1. You learn the most from failure. That got me big time. The more failure you get, the better you come. Another gem, bro. Another gem. The real opportunity is having an opportunity. Like we all have opportunity. We all have opportunity. It's just taking advantage of the opportunity. Dude, I got tons of notes. Your 3 standards, I love those. But I wanted to ask you a question. And by the way, you guys, if you want to ask questions, throw them in the chat. I'll ask the questions. I don't want Calvin to be sidetracked by the questions. I will ask them for you, bro. Again, I'm very appreciative of having you on the call. So question for you is, every single morning when you get up, I'd like to hear, like, what's your routine? I know that you got to have some type of routine to be as successful as you've been. What is your routine?
Dude, I always make the start of my day the hardest part of my day. That's what I always tell people, you know. As I've built my business over the year, like, you know, like you talked about excuses, and everybody has an excuse, right? Everybody, they use their kids as an excuse. They use the dentist appointment as an excuse. They use the fact they got to go to work today as an excuse on why they can't build their business, you know. Or they use the excuse as the phone. It feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds to pick it up and pick up the phone and call somebody. Like literally, if you start your day pushing yourself like as hard as you can, like I have a good workout. Okay, I push myself in the gym, or I'm riding the Peloton, like sitting behind me on like a freaking high resistance ride with one of the hardest instructors on Peloton, usually one of the women on there. And like, or, you know, I'm doing a heavy CrossFit workout, or I'm working out with a guy who's just gonna push me to my limits, you know? And literally minimum 30 minutes, maximum an hour. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm exerting myself, you know, to the point where when I'm done, I'm so excited to go home and get to work. You know, I'm just being honest, like the start of my day makes everything else seem easy that I got to do. You know, sometimes when you don't push yourself at the beginning, everything is going to get hard. It starts hard, it ends hard. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, what do you do at the start of your day to push yourself past exertion, to exhaust yourself and all energy, to be like, man, I can't wait to go to work. It's going to be so easy today. I can't wait to get through this workout. That's the truth, you know? Also, I spend 10 minutes priming myself, okay? And I learned this from Tony Robbins himself, okay? And he talks about how people, they spend so much time focusing on what they're worrying about. They focus on all the stress in their life, like things that have to get done that aren't getting done, like the scariest parts that they have to face, or the things that they're going through. And he says people create a dirt road to happiness and a highway. They create a dirt road to happiness and a highway to stress. That's what he says. You know, they make it so easy to find stress every day, and they have this dirt road to happiness. He says instead, what you need to do is create a highway to happiness and a minefield to stress. And all that takes is you priming yourself each and every day, right? Priming yourself means spend 10 minutes in gratitude. Like when you're taking a shower in the morning and when you're taking a shower in the evening, spend those 5 minutes through each of those little shower sessions, like telling yourself what I'm grateful for. Like even the simplest things. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for their health. I'm grateful for their school. I'm grateful that they're learning something. You know, I'm grateful that we're safe during these hard times right now. I'm grateful to have an income stream. I'm grateful to have an opportunity. I'm grateful for my husband, for my wife, you know, for my friends. You know, I'm grateful to wake up another day and just breathe the fresh air. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do a training next month. I'm grateful to be able to have 3 prospects in the pipeline that I get to share the business with, or that I get to have an opportunity to sell to this month. Like, spend 10 minutes priming yourself every single day, because when you focus on those things that are positive, like you move yourself in the direction of those things. Like you start taking action in the direction of those things. If you're just consumed by everything you're scared of, if you're consumed by all of the things you're stressed out about, it's going to be what holds you back from taking action, because those are like weighing heavy on you. So what Tony Robbins taught me, because I've spoke with him over the last 4 years at the Gopher event in Las Vegas, is he taught me to just prime yourself. Like, don't even think about the stress. If you start your day like with being grateful, and you end your day in gratitude, like you had no time to think about stress. Like those things that you're grateful for, like outweigh or push out all those negative things. Like the things you're stressed about, don't worry, you're going to get through it just like you have your entire life, right? But focus 10 minutes a day on priming yourself. So just pushing myself and priming myself. That's how I usually start my day.
I love it. I had another question from the group asking, I'm assuming out of curiosity, what time do you wake up and what time do you go to sleep?
Okay, cool. You know, I usually wake up, I would say, like, dude, if I sleep past 8 o'clock, I feel like unproductive, just to tell you the truth. And some of you might be like, dude, 8 o'clock is late, you know? But I would say that's the latest. Usually when my kids are in school, I usually wake up at like 6 in the morning, you know? And also what I do in the morning, okay? Besides spending an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, like pushing myself through a hard workout and priming myself, is I spend an hour on YouTube, personal development, like learning things that I want to learn about. Like when I see people succeeding, I'm not like, I don't know what to do that. I wish I knew what to do that. So many people do that. I'm like, did you ever think of Googling it? Did you ever think of going on YouTube and learning like how they do that? I spend an hour every single morning doing that. It's personal development. I'm learning things. And like, over the course of 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, like you become those videos you're watching. Like you become like this like machine who like, you start like developing these skill sets that you didn't have before. It just comes naturally. It becomes like it starts like embedding itself in your DNA and in your language, you know? So like spend an hour every day learning something, like learn something new. Don't just keep focusing on what you're good at, learn something new. So that way as you build faith in yourself, you feel good about yourself. When you learn new things every single day, like it makes the rest of your day so productive. So
awesome. Do you have a YouTube channel, or I'm going to share your Instagram and your
Facebook. I would say like,
guys, he's got
my Facebook profile. If you look up Calvin Becerra, you'll see like a bunch of different profiles. But if you see the one with me and my family, I think I'm wearing like a light pink shirt. We're in Hawaii. You can just send like, either request me. If it says that I have too many friends, just send me a message. Hey, I was on Manny Soto's call tonight. You know, would love to connect with you, and I'll request you. You know, you can do that. You can also follow me on Facebook because my profile is public anyway, so you'll see everything you would if you were my friend or not. On Instagram, I like giving value online. I don't really promote my business a lot. I celebrate my team. I don't promote my business online because I don't want to build up. You know, social media is about information and entertainment. You know, what you don't want to build up is resistance. I don't want to just push my business all day long because people are going to skip past my profile. Instead, I focus on creating value. I focus on showing how I'm a family man, you know, me building our dream home, you know, here in Corona, California. Like I show that, and I give value. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. My YouTube channel is cool. You'll learn some good things on there, I guess, but that's more like focused on my business. I think if you followed me on social media, you'd get more value out of it for whatever it is you do.
Awesome. And then I had a question as well. What's the future like? I know that you're building a house right now. Are you done? Is it complete? Because I haven't got an invite yet, bro.
Dude, I know. No, not, dude, it'll be done. The deadline is Halloween, like October 31st. But like, I remember when I started building a house, I had like a price, right? That I wanted, that I thought was going to cost to build my house. And my friend Kelly, he's like, no, whatever you think, like add $1 million to it, you know? And he was right. Like I had to add another couple million to it because like contractors love change orders, right? They love when you change your mind about something. No, I want these. They like give you a quote on building your home. And then when it comes to like putting the garages in or doing the stucco or doing the drywall, they're like, this is what we quoted you on, but you might want the better option, right? And then I'm like, of course I want the better option. Then it's double the price and it ends up like killing me. But Manny, I was in Newport. I was in the Newport Harbor the other day, just looking at the yachts out there. And one of the yachts on the back said change order on it. And then I understood like how the guy was able to buy a yacht, right? They love the change orders when you're building something. But anyways, yeah, we're building our home in Corona, California. It's more of like a residence. I want it to be more of like a team retreat for my teams around the world. I'll have incentives so people can come out and spend the week with me, like just shadow me during the day, just see what it is like in the life, like what I do in the morning, you know, and they'll be right beside me, like just hanging out with them. I want them to see that like when you really do focus on a business and you apply yourself, you can really retire early, right? Which is what you promote, you know, like I put in 15 years into this business, but by year 7, I was done. My business was already built. Like now it's just my passion. It doesn't, when you're doing something you're excited about, it doesn't feel like work. Like you'll work every hour of the day if you're passionate about it. Like now it's my passion. I lead from the front. I lead by example. I understand that in business, people don't listen with their ears. They listen with their eyes. Okay. You could teach and train everybody on everything they need to know to be successful, but they're not going to really do it until they see you doing it yourself. That's the real teacher. Is action you take teaches your team what to do. They're going to listen, but at the end of the day, they're going to follow through when they see you doing what you're preaching, practicing what you're preaching. And like, so I'm always like bringing new people to my business. I'm always making new sales. I'm always hitting the targets, winning the trips, hitting the big bonuses. And that's what's really the best teacher to my team. Like it motivates them. Like, dude, this guy's doing it. I need to do it. Like excuses, I need to throw them out the window because he's not making excuses. Yeah, everybody's hiding in the quarantine shadows of their home right now, but these guys aren't. You know, and so like if right now you think you cannot be successful because of the time and other people are succeeding and winning, then you're wrong. If other people are succeeding and winning, then you can too.
Big time. On that note, do you delete people from your life? Like, I know that when I knew you 5 years ago, we had a negative, dull, disillusioned crybaby on our squad, and we were like, man, is this guy gonna ever leave? So what do you ever like cut people out of your life? Like, do you go, dude, I just can't with this guy?
I don't know if it's like cutting people out. I think it's more of like outgrowing people. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like, I love all people. Like, I still love the friends that I don't hang out with, but like, I just outgrew them. Like, them being around me isn't going to help me move forward. I need to move forward. I need to be around other people who want to succeed. I want to be around other people who have big dreams. I want to be around other people who haven't accomplished what they want to accomplish yet. I don't want to be around people who let their most recent success be their last success. I want it to be just another stepping stone to their next one. Like, I need to be around people that want to grow, because I need them to motivate me. I want to be around people that are more successful than me or just as successful as me. Like, so it's not that I deleted them, but I just outgrew them. They got replaced with a whole new group of people. You know, just your circles change as you evolve, and as you mature as a business person. Like, some people just want to stay back in time. Like, they don't want to grow, or they want to hold you back. They don't want you to succeed. When you have a new business, or you have a new product, or you have something new, they're always going to be negative. Why? Because you're going to outgrow them. They have nothing like what you have. They have no opportunity. They have nothing to sell. They have nothing to give. They have no value to share. Like, so I think we just outgrow people. It looks like we're deleting people from our life, but no, we just moved on to another phase. You know, and we grew past them, and now we've come across some new people in our life who are going to help us get even further.
Nice. Last two questions, bro. Last two questions, because we're almost done.
Okay.
Question number one: how big is that house, bro? Like, I'm kind of curious now, dude. Is it a massive house that you're building? I've heard building a house is drama, dude. I mean,
dude, it's crazy. Like, so to me, it's big, you know. But like I said, when you start growing your circle and you start being around people who are more successful than you, to those guys, it's small, you know. But come on, dude. I know where I come from. I never forget where I come from. And this is huge to me, you know, but it's an 8,000 square foot house that we're building in Corona, California, you know. A very nice area. We bought a 1 acre lot that we're building on. Like, dude, the pool like that we're building is going to be incredible. You'll love it. We have a big cabana pool house in the back with like a pizza oven, you know, a barbecue in there, like, you know, a big, huge island, Sub-Zeros in there. It's all fully like custom decked out. It's a Spanish Santa Barbara style home, which is like what me and my wife like. We're gonna go pick out like those Spanish tiles that go on like the risers of the stairs, and like outside we have the Ardo like cement Spanish tile going throughout our entire house. You know, we have the white walls. We ordered like a couple $100,000 worth of these wrought iron chandeliers from Mexico. They sent us pictures yesterday of all these like hanging chandeliers in our great room. We have those big, huge like beams that I found on Pinterest. I just made a Pinterest wall when I wanted to build my house, and I gave it to the architect. I said, here's your inspiration, you know? And it's like incredible. But when you walk into the house, you'll see this huge like 3-tier chandelier that's all wrought iron. And then in the great room, which is huge, 2 big islands, like 6 chandeliers coming down from all the beams. I'm gonna have my dream office there that I'm excited to build, you know? And then, you know, we got the theater room, all the kids' bedrooms upstairs, our master's downstairs, which I like the best, you know? Got a sauna in my bathroom. Need the sauna, right? And then I have another master retreat on the opposite side of the house for like guests. We also have a couple guest rooms upstairs for them as well. But like, dude, it's just, and when you walk, our huge great room has like a 120-foot like sliding door that slides into the walls. It doesn't fold in the walls. It slides into the walls completely, and then it opens up to like this big, huge California room outside. That's all these like tongue and groove like, you know, ceilings with the cool chandeliers hanging down. And then you see this negative edge infinity pool spill down in front of you. And you see the pool, and then a huge, like literally like 17-foot like diameter spa that fits like probably 20, 30 people. It's crazy. And it's like, dude, you can see how excited I get about it when I talk about it. It's just, we're building our dream, you know?
Hell yeah.
The cool part is like, you know, I get to build it with my wife. My kids get excited about it. But like, dude, I didn't come from that, man. I grew up in like, me and my brother and my sister shared a room, you know, or we slept on the floor or on the couch every night. Like, dude, you know, I remember when I was in 6th grade, I lived in a motel because my mom had a boyfriend and there was no room in the house in Crockett, California. I lived in a motel because, you know, like the county gave her like us tickets to live in this motel. And like, I was excited. Like, you think like, how could you put your kid in a motel? But for me, I was like a big kid. I felt like I was on my own. I got to go to school. I made myself like a cup of noodles every day. I felt like all independent, but it was crazy, you know, but from where I came from to like me building a house is like, it's a dream, you know? And, to be able to have my kids to be able to experience that while they're little is even better, because who wants to build their dream home when their kids are like grown up out of the house? I'm just being honest. Like, that's not me. I want them to experience it with their friends. I want them to have a big pool so all their friends are hanging out, having fun, you know? And then the best part is that my kids get to see how hard I work every single day, you know? And that's why we have those things. You know, they understand the value of hard work. So I'm not away at work every day. I'm in my home working, and they're seeing that all day. Like, this guy hustles his ass off. Like, look at him. Like, that's why we have these things. So anyways, I know that I'm just going on and on with the simple question. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Man, I love it, dude. I love it. I love seeing the passion. If you guys are, what you're witnessing right now is a mental beast, dominator. I've been to Mexico with him, by the way. We went to Cabo. He would not stop doing push. He almost broke his back because he wanted to win the contest. I tapped out. I was like number 3 or something. I'm like, dude, Calvin, take it away, bro. But the guy is super competitive. He's not gonna lose. He's gonna die before he freaking loses. I love seeing that, and that's why when I get together with him, I'm like, he's like my brother, man. I'm like, yes, you know. So that's fucking awesome. But you're gonna need some more insurance, bro. I don't know. We might have to be busy. You're gonna need some more insurance. And
of course, man. We gotta set up some more policies.
You know, your income.
I know. We can do that, man. I know that we still gotta. You know, we got retirement options with you, bro. I can still throw policies on all the kids. I could throw a couple more myself, my wife. Like, let's just set up a few more. I love investing, man, by the way.
I'll be there for the grand.
Okay, dude, I love investing, by the way. Like, that's the most fun I have. Every week I get paid passive income ridiculously, by the way, like crazy. People work a whole year to make that what I'm giving in a couple days, you know? But I'm just saying that, like, I don't want to just throw my money. I love investing my money, like diversifying my money. I like watching it grow. Like, that's a whole nother business of mine, is spending like a few hours a day, like watching my investments grow, moving money and doing things like and I'm not afraid of investing in different things. Like, you know, that you can invest in stocks, in life insurance, and whole life, and all this kind of stuff, you know, and in crypto, like anything. I'll invest in anything, in real estate, in other businesses. Like, it's like, if of course there are going to be things that fail, but there are other things that are going to win, and you're going to make out in the end. So I love investing, and when you can really build a business and start investing, like, that becomes a new passion, but it also becomes just additional income streams for you. Like, my money makes no money sitting under my mattress or sitting in a savings account. Like, nobody's money does, you know? It's actually devaluing, especially during times like right now where we're printing money like crazy. Like, $100 is worth like 70 now. Like, I'm just being honest. So I'd rather invest it. And right now, like, there are gains like I've never seen before in investing.
Last question, bro. Last question, because you brought the noise. And by the way, this is going to be on YouTube in the coming weeks. Actually, by Monday next week, this will be on YouTube, so you could have it, because you threw nuggets, dog. Last question is, what is your 5-year vision and what is your 15-year vision?
Man, I would say my 5-year vision is to, I would say, like, when it comes to my own business, because I'm always thinking about my business. Like, of course, like my investments buckets are full now. Like, there's nothing, I really can't really do anything else. Of course, I can keep adding to that. I'm building my dream house. You know, like, when you think of kids' college, like, that investment's already been made, you know, and put away. I would say, like, my 5-year vision is just duplicating myself more than I already have, you know, like having 10 of me out there in my business that have either surpassed me or hit my level in my business. And I think I'm already halfway there. But and I would say my 15-year vision is just being able to duplicate the income I have right now in another business. Like, right now, I've recently been asked to consult for a couple companies here locally that pay me, you know, almost a 7-figure income each, you know, every single, which is incredible. But I'm just saying, like, that's a whole nother challenge that I didn't ever expect that was presented to me, right? And now I have the opportunity to practice something new, to coach and mentor, like, people that are involved in these companies, you know? And so my goal is just to, on top of the income I have right now, 15 years from now, to have, you know, a whole nother income stream that matches what I have now. Like, so I can invest more and I can, you know, be able to leave a legacy for my kids and their kids.
I love it, man. I love it.
And then also,
that's it, man.
like
That's all I got.
yeah, I would say the last thing is, and I don't want to keep talking, but you know, when I was young, I had a big, and there's an organization called Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and it's like for disadvantaged youths who don't really have any role models in their life to have a big brother, a big sister who helps like mentor them, counsel them, takes them to like baseball games and does those things and stuff. Like I love giving back to kids in need, you know? So that's why, you know, my brother does it with his business with We Save One, and I do it with my business and helping kids go to school who can't afford it. I help kids play sports who can't afford sports. Like my 15-year vision is to have a full like nonprofit model that is just giving back to kids who are disadvantaged, who don't have the opportunity or the resources to do what most kids can do, you know, and they have talents and skills that are being like forgotten. And I want to be able to give back in that way, in a huge way. So that's it.
I love it, man. I love it. Thank you so much for bringing the noise, giving us your heart, and giving us your time. I know you're busy. I know you got 22 text messages in this hour, and I know that you got to get back to the family. But let's have some lunch next week. Bring your mask, and I'll bring mine, and we'll have a great time going out.
All right, thanks, Manny.
All right, my brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you guys for like staying on board and watching and listening. I hope you learned something. I hope I've encouraged you to like turn that light bulb or that switch on that helps you take action in your life and helps you just push yourself to that next level. Remember, have standards and just show up every day, right? And 99% of the work is done. So appreciate you all. Thanks, Manny.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Did Calvin do a great job in explaining his humble beginnings and everything that he wanted to accomplish in the future? It's so terrific to take an average person who grew up from very humble beginnings and experience exactly what he has been through. Whether it's reading a book or whether it's listening to someone that's been through trials and tribulations who's 87 years old, or whether it's any type of publication that you can grab your hands on, you'll learn from every single experience that people have gone through. In his experiences, you can tell there was no excuses. Absolutely no excuses. So when it came to being brought up in life, when it came to competing in the midpoint of his life, and when it came to what he's going to potentially do in the near future of his lifetime, man, it's just amazing to have different people like that in our lives. What's going to be awesome about our next week guest speaker is they're going to be speaking on exit strategies. Here's what I mean by that. If you own multiple pieces of property and you've wondered, how am I ever going to stop collecting rent? Should I put my money into an annuity after my 401k? Or do I have a life insurance policy that can yield some tax-free income? If you'd like to learn the answers to those questions, stay tuned for our next YouTube on the next TFA Tuesday, where our guest, Terry Bowie, is going to be discussing exactly what I talked about. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and like, share it with some people, will you? Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.